Alright folks, unboxing video time. Let me get some better light going. I got a second camera we're going to use as well. So this was what do you call it? Recertified. I forgot the exact name. This comes from Amazon. And basically it was bought by somebody, then returned, and then supposedly Amazon or one of their vendors checked it out and said, oh, it's like new. Box don't look like new. Alright, so we're going to unbox this here at Behringer Xenix X2222 USB. This is considerably bigger than the other mixer I have. Why am I getting such a mixer? Well, I've got a couple studios here, or we'll call them different rooms, 3 to be exact. One is the gaming studio. The other is the music studio that we're in right now. And the other is the Weight Slayer gym, right? This is the Weight Slayer music room. Then we've got the Game Slayer gaming room, basically. Then we have also the garden, which isn't a studio. But yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and get this open. This was from Amazon. It's supposed to be in like new condition. The box is obviously in beat to shit out of condition. So hopefully nothing's damaged inside. Hopefully it's well wrapped and all that good stuff. Now, my plans, obviously, you would expect with as many mic jacks as this has, XLR, I plan on using it in here, plus running it into the Weight Slayer gym. So Weight Slayer music, we'll have the couple mics in here, one mic in the cabinets. Actually, we'll have 3 mics in here, mic in the cabinet, and then a probably some kind of boom mic, and then a room mic. So what is that, about 5 of the mics, and this thing has 8. So then the Weight Slayer gym will have 3 probably omnidirectional mics, but then I think we have the ability to have even more mics than that. Maybe we'll have a wireless one too, who knows. So yeah, we're basically, maybe it's overkill, I don't know, for what these channels have to offer you people. Okay, so wow, actually has a bracket to mount it on the wall. That's pretty good. That might actually be something I want to use. Of course, we got these guitars on the wall here. Whoa. And we have all the good guitars are locked down somewhere else, but the cheap crap is in this room. So, all right. We have a USB printer cable, basically, right? USB to USB, but it is the same one that you would find on a printer in here. Honestly, surprisingly, when people send stuff back, I always wonder, are they going to keep half the crap in the box or send all of it back? Because some people are dishonest. Power cable. Just so you know, if you're watching this, just to find out what the power cable is, you can get these. You probably have tons of these in your house. This is something that would come with a power supply on a computer. TVs have them, etc., etc. So the only thing I'm not really going to get to do is demonstrate much of this. We don't have. Let me bring the computer down. I think I'm gonna plug this into an actual desktop, because and the all-important instruction manual. Thank God that's in there. I will put this box back on the wall, back in storage somewhere. But yeah, my plans, folks, are to basically take this and wire all this stuff up in here. I've got to find a place for this that's safe, is the problem. So we're going to have a bunch of screaming grandkids in here. So I have to be a little careful about my placement of it. And I thought about it. I actually thought about laptop in here, but I think, quite honestly, we will go with a desktop, which I need to put together at some point. And I got to figure out which desktop. I want something that I can stream from. So that'll be the other thing. We will live stream from in here, whether it's weights. Oh hell, I might even do some gaming live stream in here. All right, so not that we have this hooked up to anything, but why not turn it on, right? You can see the pretty colors. Make sure it works. It looks like I said, had a rough trip here because the box is definitely not like new. But at least they did include the box. Sometimes you buy those used items from Amazon and you don't get what you're expecting. Now, of course, if the USB doesn't work on this, that'll be a deal killer for me because I really need that. So Phantom on. So on the back you have Phantom power, and we need our USB cable. I think I honestly wanted to put this in my other room, but it's kind of overkill for that room. So yeah, how much should I pay for this, folks? These go for about $250, $275, brand new. I was able to get it for $200, I believe. And you can see we have 8 XLR inputs. What else do we have? Looks like we have a bunch of 1/4-inch stereo. So 16 channels, it would appear. And channel 1's muted. Hopefully I'll notice that later when I actually plug stuff in. So yeah, we'll have a bunch of microphones around in here, and hopefully everything will be safe. This one has some effects, which, for vocal stuff, that'll be cool. I probably will do some more music karaoke stuff with this. Rate My Karaoke. That was always a popular one on one of my channels. But ideally in this room, yeah, we'll have some of these go into like the cabinets, which potentially could be, well, we could use at least 4 of those. We need a mic to talk into, and then one mic just, to pick up the sounds of the room. So really you're like 6. Now the other room I could plug in a wireless mic into the 1/4-inch jack. So realistically we have a lot of options. So that's good. The main thing for me though, folks, is going to be to test every aspect of this to make sure it works at some point. So we'll check every channel and the effects, everything. And obviously all this, we have all these different, we have some EQ stuff in here, high, mid, low. Looks like there's almost 2 mids on here. auxiliary, and then somehow, and I don't know how we do this, we'll get to put an effects in here. This has XLR out, which I'm not going to need. Phantom power. It's got control room, sub outputs, main outputs. It's a really nice unit. I mean, if you think about how much just the $100 thing is, this little box, and then you think about the $150 to $200 unit, which is, you know, like just this area, whatever this was, $250, $275 brand new, to get a thing that weighs like 20 pounds. It has all this stuff on it. Yeah, it seems pretty cool. So we could potentially hook up one of our amps directly into this. Eventually this will go into a computer, like I stated. Which computer that'll be, I do not know at the moment, but we'll figure one out and see how it goes. But hey, thanks for checking my video, folks. This other camera, now I'm going to kind of set this up. So you guys, camera one, which almost fell over, is having problems. Jeez. I've got a table here. I was going to put the keyboard on it, but I think we'll go, we'll figure something out here. Cool. Now, of course, so I got to move some things around, which is always painful in these situations. I don't know how I'm going to make this work. I kind of feel like the guitar stand needs to go bye-bye. I think that's probably the best thing that could happen, is we get rid of the guitar stand. Put it somewhere else. I think there's a dead spider in here. Okay. I'll put this over here for the time being. So we do have a keyboard in here too, folks, that we may be able to plug directly into this guy. And just make a lot of, you know, nothing professional will be done here. It's all just going to be amateur, severe amateur hour. But I think it'll be fun. That's the main thing, you know. You buy stuff, maybe you don't use it. I bought another device that comes tomorrow that's going to make a difference, I think, in the quality of vocals, which is kind of exciting. Alright, so this table, this is tight in here if we can still be able to get to this other cable. And I'll probably put I don't know where I'll put the desktop. Underneath the table to the side of it. Actually, what we need to do, I think, is move this down, and then I'll get a laptop for now. Now, do these have? This has speaker out. None of these cheap amps in here have any kind of preamp out or whatever. And my crappy Boss thing doesn't have it either. So we do have to read our instruction manual eventually. So this guy needs to go this way, I think. I'll move this in here. I thought about using the guitar cabinet as a place for this thing, but maybe that's not going to work out so good. In this box. Let's save that box. We got a new box. Alright, I'll be back in a moment, folks. Alright, so we've got a laptop now, mixer. Not sure it'll work, but we're doing headphone out right into line 8 on there, channel 8. See how this goes. Hopefully it'll work. And this light is probably just too bright where it's aimed now. Let me see if I can rearrange this so it lights up stuff but doesn't go right in you guys' eyeballs. So yeah, nobody's really watching my videos, unfortunately. It's just a darn shame. It's the way life is, I guess. So, let's see here. I'm kind of think, folks, so like I said, we have these mounting brackets, and I don't see unless I'm supposed to loosen these screws. I'm not really sure how this thing's supposed to mount. Maybe it's on the back somewhere. I won't lose those things. This would be easier if it was on the wall. If I can find another spot for this guitar, we could potentially mount it right here, which would be nice. You guys can't see what I'm doing, but there is the white guitar on the wall, basically where it's at. The white Jackson guitar. So this thing's updating. It's just killing my productivity. So I want to get OBS open on this so I can then hear if it's outputting from the guitar amp into the keyboard, or not the keyboard, but into the mixer, I should say. So really, folks, I'm wondering, did I go overboard with this thing? Now, I also have this keyboard, mic in. I don't know why it's got a mic in. Phone output. Alright, so the keyboard also appears that it could be plugged in over here if we had another long cable, which I don't have out here. Do I? Well, crap. Do have one shorter cable. I'm just realizing that The reality is this Boss Katana. I should have bought the head. I guess I could always sell this, but it's unfortunate this doesn't have a line out. No, it does have a recording out. Tempted to see whether it can be seen by the mixer as well. We'll do this. Make that line 7 and 8. Everything plugged in. There's not enough outlets out here for all this crap I got, folks. So, I think the keyboard's on, if I remember correctly. Yep, keyboard is plugged in. This light over here probably should be plugged in around the corner. I wonder if there's an outlet on this wall. So there's one outlet open. And we just shut the mixer off. Just unplugged the mixer, folks. The keyboard. Keyboard's the one that could be plugged in, or the light, or maybe the light. I keep forgetting I have a light over here. So a little more light. It's not doing a whole lot though. So could unplug this now. Yeah, I wish this thing would have been ready to go. Alright, so this light is no longer needed over here. I thought this thing had RCAs on it. I guess it's the cheaper ones have the RCAs. Oh no. 2-track. You wanted to hook up some music to play through it. Mix that in with whatever you're doing. Plan is I'll mix some real music with me jamming, or when I try and learn some stuff. But yeah, we are getting there slowly, folks. Yeah, this doesn't reach. What a surprise. So maybe this thing should go under the desk. I think we'll do that with it. We'll put it under the desk. The reality is, I'm probably not going to use this thing too much. Now we have a little bit more working space. Another place for that. And the reality is I just wanted to be able to test out these other devices to see if they actually worked. So record out is on this side, of course, the far side. Okay. Now, Working on updates, 27%. Oh my god. Could this be any slower, folks? So we know we got a signal from the Joyo Bantam XL. We don't know if we're getting any signals from the other stuff. Okay. So while I wait for this, I'm just going to keep cleaning up a little bit. Hardware. I wonder if this up against the wall would be better. Okay, I keep forgetting we're recording, folks. It's a 46. But we'll do a part 2 to this rather than waste too much of you guys' time. Alright.